WTOR 770 ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੁੜੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਖਬਰਸਾਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਵੇਰੇ 8 ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 10 ਵਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਅੱਜ ਇਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਨੇ ਐਰਨ ਓਟੂਲ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਟਿਵ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੀ ਦੌਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ਾਮਲ ਨੇ। ਐਰਨ ਓਟੂਲ ਨਵੰਬਰ 26 2012 ਤੋਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਡਰਹਮ ਰੀਜਨ ਤੋਂ ਮੈਂਬਰ ਪਾਰਲੀਮੈਂਟ ਚੱਲੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਟੀਵਨ ਹਾਰਪਰ ਦੀ ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਵੀ ਰਹਿ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਨੇ। ਪਿਛਲੀ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਰੇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਔਰ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਲੀਡਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਰੇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਤੀਜੇ ਸਥਾਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸਨ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਵਾਰ ਇਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਕੰਪੀਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਿਕਟਵਰਤੀ ਵਿਰੋਧੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਔਰ ਉਮੀਦ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਐਰਨ ਓਟੂਲ ਇਸ ਰੇਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੱਤ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਆਓ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੁਝ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਕੈਂਪੇਨ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਪ੍ਰਾਇਓਰਟੀਜ਼ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਕੁਝ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਬਾਤਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। Mr. Erin O'Toole, welcome to the show and good morning to you.
Good morning.
So how's campaign going?
The campaign's going very well. We're in the final weeks, and my team, we've got lots of momentum all across Canada, especially here in the GTA, where I'm a member of Parliament now. So I'm confident that we're going to come out on top, on victory at the end of the month.
All right. So have you traveled coast to coast to sign the membership and to address the Conservative members?
Yes, I have traveled from coast to coast. Obviously, during COVID-19, we had to stop traveling, so I haven't traveled as much. But we moved and started doing a lot of online Zoom and Skype, and we've talked to thousands of members directly through the computer. So we've traveled, we've done technology, we've done it all to contact our members.
All right, Mr. Toole. 3 reasons or your 3 priorities that after becoming a leader of this Conservative Party, what will be 3 main issues that you would really like to work on?
Well, first thing, we have to save small business. A lot of small and medium-sized businesses are struggling after COVID-19. The Trudeau Liberals, a lot of their plans were very slow or missed small business entirely, so we're going to save small business. We're going to try and give some tax relief to families and seniors and keep taxes low. Justin Trudeau's already looking at taxing people's homes and their home sales. He's going to raise taxes, so we want to stop that. And third, we need jobs, and we need Canada's reputation on the world stage restored. The Prime Minister has ruined our relationship with a number of countries, from the United States to India to Japan. We have to improve our relations and get more capital investment for jobs here in Canada.
All right. So you've been critics of the foreign affairs, and you will definitely work on these issues that you have mentioned, that the Canadian relations with other countries, they gone worse during this Liberal government. Mr. O'Toole, recently we have talked a lot about the WE scandal. Conservative Party and other parties, they did ask Justin Trudeau to resign, but he did not. If you become a leader, will you bring a no confidence motion to put this government down?
Well, we're going to first try and get to the bottom of the scandal. My colleague Pierre Poilievre and some of the MPs are using our committees to look into it. We want to make sure we use Parliament to ask the questions, not just on the WE scandal, but the government spent almost $100 billion more in 5 months than even the budget officer expected. So how many more WE scandals are in that amount of money? So I do see us bringing a motion of non-confidence at some point, but I want to shine a light on what I think is more liberal corruption, so that we can show Canadians we need a change in government. We need a government that's ethical, that's serious, and will get Canada working, get us back on track after this difficult time with COVID.
So right now there's a $354 billion deficit, and then debt gone to the trillion. Doesn't it scare you if you become a prime minister of this country and you're going to carry so much deficit and the debt? How are you going to handle all that?
Well, what actually scares me is Justin Trudeau winning again and making it even worse. So I know it's a big challenge, but I think Canadians know that Conservatives are very good on economic issues. We're very good at the budget and creating jobs. And that's exactly what we need right now. To grow out of this huge deficit and debt hole, we need as many Canadians working as possible. We need small businesses expanding, and we need to get government under control and not have millions of people on the CERB emergency benefit, where it's making it hard for small businesses to hire people, and it's making people dependent on the government. People come to Canada to work hard, to provide for the family, to have success. We need to make sure that Canadian dream stays alive.
How do you overall rate the way Liberals handled this pandemic?
Very poorly, very poorly. And I tried to work with them, but the Conservatives asked the government to close the border to flights from China in late January. We asked for screening at the borders and quarantine for people coming from China, Italy, Iran in February. None of that happened. They left the border open 2 months too long. More cases got in. And then when they did shut down everything, the support for businesses to save jobs was really slow. There was virtually no rent assistance. There was no wage subsidy at first. At first, they were going to make it 10%. We pushed and got them to increase it to 75%. So a lot of employers weren't sure they could save the jobs, so they put people on CERB. And so now we have double the people on the CERB and fewer jobs. So I think the government's approach was slow and not sufficient to save jobs.
All right. Mr. Erin O'Toole, my another question is regarding the last campaign strategy of Andrew Scheer's team. What I felt in that strategy that it did not outreach properly to the ethnic communities. So there was not much ground connections of Andrew Scheer's campaign team to the ethnic communities. And ethnic communities somehow felt that Conservatives are not their Conservatives is not their party, and Conservatives is not Conservative Party is not a good for them. What changes you will bring? Do you really feel that there's need to be some changes, and what changes you will bring to the strategy?
Yes, that's a good question. I will bring serious changes to the strategy. I have support of Jason Kenney, the Premier of Alberta, who built a lot of really good connections with ethnic communities in the GTA, in the Vancouver area, and I've talked to him. We're already rebuilding those connections. I was in Brampton yesterday for a number of meetings that were very positive. Today I'm going to be in Mississauga and other parts of the GTA. I want to make sure that people know the Conservative Party is a natural home for people who want to work hard, have success, have safe communities, have a strong Canada on the world stage. So I will be reaching out, and I would be the first GTA leader for the Conservative Party or Prime Minister ever. So I think it's time to rebuild those connections here in the GTA.
All right. So when we look at the numbers back, when we talk about the Trudeau family, there's a lot of old fellows, they do talk about the Pierre Trudeau. They say that he's the one who brings the minorities here, and he gave the asylum to most of the peoples. But when we challenge them about the numbers, that it's the Conservative government who gave asylum to more people than the Liberals. It's the Conservative government that bring more immigrants to Canada than the Liberals. It's the Conservative government who set up all the immigration policies that Liberals are taking benefit of it, and Liberals are building their brand on those policies. So what Conservatives do, they bring the good policies, but they fail to get the credit of those policies. So there need to be outreach, and there need to be tell people what Conservatives are really doing. I worked with the past few campaigns, and I have noticed that there's, as you mentioned, that yes, this strategy needs to be changed, and we got to make these minority communities realize that Conservatives are for them as well.
I couldn't have said it better myself. You're 100% right. The Conservatives over time, under Stephen Harper and Jason Kenney, we had record levels of immigration even during slow economic growth. And we had better success with family reunification, better success with skilled immigration. So we have to tell our story better, and we do have to make sure that we are reaching out and welcoming more new Canadians into the Conservative Party, because we actually align with the values of a lot of ethnic communities a lot better in terms of support for faith communities and the role of faith in your life, small business and entrepreneurs, safe communities, these sorts of things. More new Canadians actually align as Conservatives than Liberals, so we have to reach out.
Mm-hmm. So many of the people who already cast their ballots and mail them, and what are your advice to other Conservative members? First of all, it's congratulations to all of you. It's a record number of members signed this time for the Conservative Party, even though the membership fee was $15 and everybody got to pay through their credit cards. It's not just free. And that was a record number of members were signed in your campaign. And what's your advice to those people who are still have those ballots with them?
Well, I'm asking for them to put me as their number one choice, put Erin O'Toole as number one on their ballot. Mm-hmm. And then there's a few steps they have to do. They have to have a photocopy of their driver's license or some form of ID. They have to sign a declaration because they're voting by mail. So if they have any problems with it at all, mm-hmm. my website, erinotoole.ca, has details. We will even pick up your ballot and help you with a photocopier and everything. So mm-hmm. we're there to help. But if they don't get it in the mail in the next week or so, their vote might not count. So people really have to move quickly.
Do you have that big team that they can go constituency to photocopy people's ballot and help them to mail out?
Yes, we do. We have portable copiers that we're bringing and helping people directly at their doorstep. Mm-hmm. We will pick up their ballot, and starting in the next few days, if people are a little late getting them done, we're going to pick them up from them, and we will courier them to Ottawa ourselves to make sure that they don't miss the deadline. It has to be received in Ottawa by August 21st. So people only have about a week or so to make sure they get this done in the mail properly.
All right, Mr. Erin O'Toole, thank you so much and wish you all the best. And next time when we will speak, I want to speak to you as the leader of the Conservative Party and then as the Prime Minister of Canada.
I look forward to that, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.